98.9 Centre, 97.3 Est-Ouest, 91.7.
RM1, it's 9 o'clock. The news with Ayrece Stewart. Good morning, Ayrece.
Good morning, Sophie.
We start with the headlines.
Strong swell warning in effect for Mauritius, valid until Thursday afternoon, according to Meteo Maurice. Brutality allegations at Melrose Prison sees Human Rights Commission begin hearings today. Parliament resumes with key bills on finance and Rodrigues Assembly. Prime Minister to face 18 questions in busy parliamentary session scheduled. In world news, France pushes two-state solution at UN conference boycotted by Israel. And in sports, Kim Lecourt loses yellow jersey after crashing and coming in second overall. The Vakwa Meteorological Station has issued a warning this morning of strong swells for Mauritius. This warning is valid until 4 p.m. on Thursday, July 31st. Fishermen and the general public are strongly advised not to go out to sea today and even to avoid the beaches. The high seas will gradually become very rough with swells and waves reaching heights of 4 meters. This Tuesday, July 29, marks a key milestone in the investigation into allegations of brutality at Melrose Prison. The National Human Rights Commission is today beginning hearings with staff and officials from the prison. This hearing phase, conducted by its specialized division, the National Preventative Mechanism Division, will be based on surveillance camera recordings and statements already taken from the inmates. More details with Anjali Siratan-Puchan.
According to a communiqué issued by the National Human Rights Commission last Friday, today, Tuesday 29th July, marks the beginning of the hearings involving staff and officials of Melrose Prison in connection with the investigation into allegations of brutality against inmates. This phase is being conducted by the NHRC through its specialized unit, the National Preventive Mechanism Division. The hearings will be based on CCTV footage and testimonies collected so far. As of now, 50% of the surveillance footage has already been reviewed and secured, and the viewing process is still ongoing. Since the launch of the investigation on 18th July, around 30 detainees have already filed complaints, all of whom have been interviewed by the NPMD investigation team. The NHRC has announced that regular updates will be provided and a final report with recommendations will be submitted to the relevant authorities. This case continues to attract close attention amid growing concerns over prisoners' rights and conditions in detention facilities.
And moving to the National Assembly now, parliamentary proceedings resume today at 11:30. Several important bills are on the agenda for this session, including the Finance Bill as well as amendments concerning the Rodrigues Regional Assembly. Tuesday's session will also feature the first reading of the Civil Appeal Bill. More details with Anjali Siratan-Puchand.
At the National Assembly this Tuesday, the order paper is particularly full. Following the usual announcements and tabling of documents, parliamentary questions will precede a motion by the Prime Minister, Dr. Navin Ramgoolam, seeking to exempt the day's debates from certain standing orders. Several bills will then be examined. The Civil Appeal Bill will be introduced for first reading by the Attorney General. In second reading, 3 major bills will be debated: the Finance Bill, the Rodrigues Regional Assembly Amendment Bill, and the Economic and Financial Measures Miscellaneous Provisions Bill, the debate on which had already begun in a previous sitting. The session will continue in committee stage, followed by the third reading of the same bills.
And staying with Parliament, where it's expected to be a busy session, Prime Minister Dr. Navin Ramgoolam will have to answer 18 questions during Prime Minister's question time. A total of 46 parliamentary questions are on the agenda. Several questions will be directed to the former Police Commissioner Anil Kumar Dip. Angus Road is also expected to be discussed. Anjali Siratan-Puchan gives us more details.
It's a heavy agenda awaiting the head of government this Tuesday at the National Assembly. Prime Minister Dr. Naveen Ramgoolam will face several sensitive questions. Member of Parliament Roshan Jaman will press further on the Angus Road affair, asking for the list of witnesses heard in this controversial investigation. Another delicate matter, former Police Commissioner Anil Kumar Dip Ludovic Kazerne is seeking clarification on the terms surrounding the purchase or sale of state-owned vehicles he used after his retirement. Rodrigues MP Jean-Francisco François will question the Prime Minister on negotiations between Mauritius and the United Kingdom regarding the Chagos archipelago, particularly on citizenship rights for the Chagossians. Amid recent controversy over the Pan-African Parliament, Adrien Duval is requesting details on Mauritius's participation in the latest session in Midrand, including the composition of the delegation, costs, and activities undertaken. Other ministers will also be in the hot seat. Land Transport Minister Osman Mohamed will be asked to provide a list of Metro Express contract beneficiaries. The MV Wakashio shipwreck will also be revisited with a question on compensation paid to victims and the publication of the Commission of Inquiry's report. Finally, questions will cover topics such as online disinformation and official overseas missions undertaken by the Minister for SMEs since last November.
Please note P&Q of the bus accident at Cascavel on July 18 addressed to the Minister of Transport is also awaited. And it's 9:06. You're listening to RM1, where we move international now. There is no alternative to a two-state solution between Israelis and the Palestinians, France told a UN conference co-chaired with Saudi Arabia on Monday that was boycotted by Israel and branded a stunt by Washington. Days before the conference, French President Emmanuel Macron announced he would formally recognize Palestinian statehood in September, provoking strong opposition from Israel and the United States. Luxembourg hinted on Monday that it could follow France and recognize a Palestinian state in September, with the possibility that other countries could announce similar plans when the conference resumes Tuesday. And finally, we close with sports, where Kimberly Lecourt-Pinard lost her yellow jersey this Monday during the third finishing, 14th, after being slowed down by a crash around 5 kilometers from the finish line. Victory went to Dutch rider Lorena Wiebes, who won the 163-kilometer stage in a sprint, clocking in at 3 hours, 41 minutes and 47 seconds. Her compatriot Marianne Vos, who came in second, claimed the yellow jersey thanks to time bonuses. Despite the setback, Kim Lecourt remains in a strong position. She now sits second in the overall standings, just 6 seconds behind the leader. That's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for listening. You'll catch now the Intermediate playlist until 10 a.m.
Bienvenue, vous êtes sur RM1. RM1, la nouvelle radio.